Hey, there it is, the second mega deal handed out by Darren Mougey. Back-to-back days here, taking care of his young, homegrown players who have produced at a very, very high level. Obviously, yesterday it was Garrett Wilson, just 4 years, 130, a ton of money guaranteed. This time, Sauce Gardner, 4 years, $120.4 million. Why is that 0.4 important? Because that essentially makes him the quote-unquote highest paid corner on an annual basis, 30.1 mil compared to Derek Stingley's 30 million. So, and by the way, I believe it's $60 million guaranteed. I have to double check on that number. But in any case, Sauce Gardner becomes the highest paid cornerback in football. Garrett Wilson becomes a top 5 highest paid wide receiver. Now, we did a video a couple days ago talking about, or really asking the question, would you make Gardner the highest paid corner? Because unlike Garrett, right? Garrett goes out, does this thing every single year. He's dealing with this dysfunction. He's dealing with horrible coaching, a quarterback turnstile, not so great offensive lines. When you look at the full career of Wilson since he was drafted, right? It wasn't really until last season where they started really piecing the thing together. So, we know he doesn't have much help. We know it's been a question mark at quarterback. And obviously, again, with coaching, with Gardner, we've literally seen like top of the top upper echelon play. Like some would say best cornerback in football in the first 2 years of his career. But last season in year 3 kind of falls off. Right now, it's not to say that he was absolutely horrendous or he was unplayable. Obviously not, he wouldn't be getting a contract like this. But there were definitely concerning moments, right? With the tackling and the penalties, just areas of concern, right? Run support, moments where, as a fan, I was watching like, come on, like you got to make that tackle. Like, why are you moving out of the way of that tackle? Why are you almost jumping on someone's back, trying to bring them down as opposed to, just using like proper tackling technique? So there has been some, obviously interceptions has been another area that people have complained about, like, hey, this is a top corner, why isn't he picking the ball off? Now, I don't necessarily define cornerbacks' greatness by pick total, interceptions per season. Yeah, it'd be great if Gardner was getting 3-4 picks a season for sure. Like, you could still be a dominant corner with no picks on the year or just one interception and roll out this fantastic season. But again, with Gardner, it was a bit of a weird situation, right? Because of course he's still on his rookie deal. The typical equation that you see to make someone the highest paid player at their position, it's like they're coming off the best season of their career, where Gardner's coming off the worst season of his career. So I think just naturally speaking, people would have more questions over Gardner's play compared to Garrett's because of what Garrett had to deal with. Now, granted, no one's considered Wilson the best wide receiver in football. You got Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, all these different guys. But with Gardner, like he's held that top slot. For how long, that's of course debatable. But I mean, in my opinion, like how it all, I think really what the bottom line is here for the New York Jets to draft a player like this in the top 5. We've seen what he can do. We know what he can do. We know what the problems are, which is obviously big time. It's a bit of a strange and bad, frankly, situation if a player is struggling and you don't know what's causing it. Like, oh, he fell off. How come? We don't really know. The coaches don't really know. The player doesn't really know. It's just like the production's just not there. We know where Gardner needs to get better at. And I got to be honest, physicality, tackling, technique on the outside, right? Hand pulling, jersey tugging, that stuff is fixable. And a lot of that stuff, Gardner can, maybe it is a mentality change on Sundays. Maybe Jeff Ulbrich, Robert Salo last season when he was there for that first 4 weeks. Maybe that was the problem, right? Maybe Aaron Glenn, maybe Steve Wilkes, 2 guys that, in Aaron Glenn's case, he's a former DB, but 2 DB coaches, 2 guys that have developed cornerbacks and safeties for that matter at a really, really high level, really high clip. Could they really maximize Gardner's talents? I want to say, yeah. If you look at the scheme, if you look at what we all assume the defense is going to look like, if it's similar to what we saw last season with the Detroit Lions, where you got a lot of man-on-man coverage on the outside, you have a roaming free safety, you have this movable chess piece at strong safety that you can just do a lot of different things with, right? Play him in the box, drop him into coverage, QB spy. I mean, there's just, the list goes on. Just like unlimited things that you can do with strong safety. If you want to run that style of system with 4 down linemen, you got to be able to tackle. You have to be able to cover. You have to be able to have ball skills. And Aaron Glenn has preached physicality. So we know Gardner produces at a higher rate in man coverage compared to zone coverage. And if we're going to be playing more man coverage this season, that obviously bodes well. So I think at the end of the day, yes, this is a lot of money, but in my opinion, the Jets aren't necessarily overpaying to make Gardner the highest paid. The prediction in that video 2-3 days ago was $31 million on average. The Jets got him at a cheaper price here at 30.1, so $9 million cheaper. So, and also, much like Garrett Wilson, because Gardner is still on his rookie deal, he's essentially going to be a Jet for 6 years here, all of his prime. Big time. That is big time. So my hat goes off to Darren Mougey, being proactive, getting out in front of it. In 3 years, will Gardner be the highest paid corner? No. Will Garrett be a top 5 highest paid wide receiver in football? No, he's not. In 2-3 years from now. So, that's how these deals. Of course, these numbers look ginormous the day you see it, but again, 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons down the road, it's just like, hey, this is actually pretty affordable, right? Think of like when the Bills extended Josh Allen for the first time. It's just like, whoa, he's getting this much this early, and then a couple years later, it's just like, oh, Josh Allen's not even one of the highest. He's not even in the top 5 highest paid quarterback in football, and he's just absolutely dominant. So. And also too, I mean, you credit the Eagles. Howie Roseman, he does a lot of the similar, a lot of the same stuff where he's just getting out in front of paying players that you just obviously know are going to be here for the long haul. You're eliminating just a potential distraction. You're taking care of your own guys and there's this huge trickle-down effect. It sends a message to the locker room. It sends a message to the agent. It sends a message to players that are being drafted by this Jets team. Like, think about the whole Shamar Stewart situation that's happening in Cincinnati. What makes it worse? The thing that makes it worse is that you had this whole thing with T. Higgins. You had this whole thing with Jamar Chase. You have Joe Burrow talking about it. You currently have this whole Trey Hendrickson situation brewing, right, where he needs a new deal, and it seems like fans are really upset about it. That's what makes the Shamar Stewart thing mind-blowing. Right, that he's still not signed. It's because it's this organization that's doing it. It'd be different if he's, on the Patriots, the Dolphins, or the Jets, or something like that, and he's holding out. But because he's on the Bengals, there's this weird optic around it. Like, this team just doesn't know what they're doing. So, yeah, I think this is a huge, huge, huge step in the right direction here for the New York Jets. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, go Jets.